Hey, everybody that's watching out there, welcome to another episode of Big Mike and Little Ant. This is episode 25, our second live episode. We appreciate you guys watching right now, and please, if you are watching, make sure that you do like this video. We definitely got some interesting topics for you guys today, and a very good show. Of course, we are the hosts. I'm Big Mike.
And I'm Little Ant, just being a little silly today, sitting back in my robe, relaxing. But yeah, so let's do this thing.
Okay, well, first of all, man, just want to, how you been? How's your week been and stuff like that? Let's talk.
So one of the cool things is, Mike, and I'll say it, and we could go into mines first. Then is I'm gonna bring up Valentine's Day, man. This is the first time we're on the show after Valentine's Day. So my very first question, we won't have to get into it yet, but I want to talk about Valentine's Day. But yeah, I'm doing good. My wife and I were going to get our taxes done today. So after the show, we'll head out. We actually get our taxes done an hour away. Because I've been going to the same tax guy for over 20 years, and he's in Egg Harbor. So I drive an hour away every year because he's my guy, and I don't deviate from the plan. So
wow, I don't know it was that long. 20 years, huh? That's
yeah,
crazy.
yeah. So I moved to Jacksonville in '99. I moved back to New Jersey in 2000, and my kids' mom, we were still married at the time, and she lived in Egg Harbor. So I drove out to her, and we went to a local guy around the corner from where she lived at, just to do our taxes together because we were still married. So we were
Right.
separated, but we did it together. And I like dude, and we got a divorce. I came back to dude. I got remarried, took my new wife to him, got a divorce, remarried. That's my dude. That's my dude. So
Hilarious. So
yeah.
you like give him all the business, all your wives, and you go
Yeah.
to him and stuff like that.
Yeah, you know what the thing is? I'm one of those people where if I go to a mechanic shop, I'm going forever. Unless we had something, I feel like, all right, you know what? Maybe we got too cool and now he's might be taking advantage of me. Stuff like that does happen. But yeah,
Right.
I'm one of the people I go to the same place forever. What about you?
In that regard, yeah, I'm very consistent. I
Hmm.
pretty much don't deviate from the plan. As you know, I've been going to the same barber for probably 20 years now
Yeah.
and stuff like that. When I had to move to Florida, one of the things that hurt me was finding new things to new places to go to,
Mm.
barbershops, grocery stores, convenience stores, handy, hardware stores. All that stuff was so hard for me. I'm used to the same places over and over again, stuff like that. Even when I was like, and you can maybe relate to that. Even when I was like a kid, I went to the same bodega for my cheesesteaks. Like I didn't deviate. Like I
Yeah.
always went to the same one.
Yeah.
Like
We're creatures of
there's
habit. Yeah. And
and there's
yeah.
what 200 bodegas in China, but I can go to any one. But I
Yep.
always went to the same
Yep.
one, or whatever
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah,
So,
I do that with
um,
everything, man. I find a place, I find a person, and that's just, my comfortability, what I like. But I will say this, I have had many cars over the years and many different mechanics, and once I felt like something wasn't right, something wasn't cool, I got overcharged for something, or maybe one of the simplest things is we're so cool, I dropped my car off and they still looking at other cars and not my car because somebody new came in, let me help them real quick. I'll get to Anthony's car. We're peoples. And then it's like, all right, hold on. We're cool and all, but so that's when I kind of like jump ship or whatever stuff like that. But
yeah, as far as how I'm doing, man, I'm excellent, man. We'll get into Valentine's Day with your topic,
yes,
so
sir.
I'm not gonna mention that or whatever. But you're actually a big part of that, so
Yes, sir.
we'll get into that
We'll get into it.
a
Yeah.
little later.
So
A
let
little.
me do this. Let me say what's up to the people in the chat. See Cloud Proto. He
Yeah,
said,
go ahead.
imagine this. He was first. Thanks for joining Cloud Proto. I know him from gaming, and he just joined my gaming network that I do with two other guys. We came up with this thing. This is really cool. So if you guys well, right now it's Stadia, but in the future maybe we might open it up. But it's like a network where people have a weekly time slot, and you do the same time slot every week. And matter of fact, it was his very first time streaming, so it's pretty cool. But thanks for joining Cloud Proto. My boy Dave, he was one of my groomsmen in my wedding. He said I took the weekend off, so I'm home. So I appreciate you jumping in. And your buddy E Smack is on here. Said, "What's good? I'm on the road."
My brother
Oh,
eats
oh,
man.
okay. Oh, that's E. All right, yeah. And
That's Eric. Yeah.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
Eric. Okay, cool. So thanks for the support, guys, and for the other people who are watching and you didn't comment. Thank you for tuning into the show. And as usual, Mike and I, we got a show for you.
All right. Well, listen, since you brought it up kind of already, and that's one of your first topics, why don't you get right into it? What's your first topic
Let's
for the
let's do
Valentine's
it,
Day?
man. So my first topic is let me see how I worded it. It's pretty much just Valentine's. Yeah, I just put Valentine's Day. So first topic is Valentine's Day. So I want to discuss Valentine's Day for this year. Um, I'm gonna give a brief overview of mine. I won't go into too many details because, as you know, I record everything. So I would want people to watch the actual video. So I'll mention my stuff, but I won't go
All
into
right.
deep details. Just for so people will want to check out the video. Um,
You kind of want to give a teaser right now and then
Yes,
give the rest
yes,
later. Yeah,
yes.
I got you. Okay.
Valentine's Day was cool. So on Valentine's Day, my wife, she felt this year. Well, no, let me start. Let me back up. 2 months before Valentine's Day, I had called a place and scheduled what I want to do for her Valentine's Day. Right. And what that was I'll get into it. I'll let me say what she did for me. So knowing that I told her, hey, on February 20th, I'm taking you somewhere for Valentine's Day. So she said, okay, well then I will take you out to dinner on Valentine's Day, right? So she took me to Mass Stories, which was cool. That was one of the places that was the place that catered our wedding. So that was cool. We haven't been there in years. She took me there for dinner, and the cool thing is we do surprise. So I had no clue. She told me get in the car. We got to be there at 6:30, and we just started driving, and we got there, and it was awesome. They had a Valentine's Day special. The food was great. I'll leave out the food so you guys can watch the video. And then when we left, and they had a guy playing music. The scene was set really nice. It was really cool. The food was great. And then when we left, she said, "Hey, you're gonna have to stay in the car." And I said, "Okay." She said, "So when we get home, stay in the car, and I will call you and tell you when to come in." I said, "Cool." So I sat in the car for about 20, 25 minutes. She called me, said, "You could come in." I walk in the house, come in our bedroom, and there's rose petals on the ground leading into the bedroom, into the bathroom. And we got a hot tub in our bathroom. So she had all the lights off, candles was lit all over. I don't drink, but she had like the sparkling cider or whatever it is that it looked like wine with wine glasses, and she had the hot tub set with bubbles and everything, and that was cool. We relaxed and chilled, and that was pretty much what she did. I'll leave it there, but everything is on video, guys. I recorded everything. For the most part, you'll see everything. Like you'll see the setting, the
Now,
food we
question:
ate.
is that already out, or you put the videos together
No,
for the
so
two
I
different?
waited all that time because I wanted to add my surprise to that video.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
so
Okay.
my surprise was yesterday. I had booked, like I said, 2 months ago, to take her to a wolf farm. So a couple months ago, probably like 4 or 5 months ago, this girl from my job mentioned this wolf farm. I said, "What?" She said, "Yeah, it's a place where you go and it's like real wolves." I was like, "That sounds cool." So I told my wife about it, and we laughed and joked about how cool it sounds. So yeah, I end up booking that, and so we went there yesterday, and it was really cool. Now we like doing crazy, or I like planning crazy stuff for Valentine's Day. One year on Valentine's Day, I took her to a gun range. She had no clue till we pulled up, and she's like, "What?" Like, "Yeah, I took you to a gun range on Valentine's Day." So we do crazy stuff like that. So the wolf thing was really cool. After that, we learned a lot about wolves. It was really cool. I bought her a wolf teddy bear, and she ended up naming it. It's a funny story about who named it, but you guys gotta watch the video. But and then we went to go to our favorite restaurant, one of our favorite restaurants, Cheesecake Factory. We show up and we walk in. It's an hour and a half to 2 hour wait, and I was like, that's just too long. Um, so we left. We just start uh, Googling, or she started Googling where could we go, and we ended up going to a place we never. I don't think we ever been there together, and I don't know why don't go that often because I actually only been there once. The food is amazing. It's like Caribbean style stuff. We went to Bahama Breeze,
Hmm.
and
Yeah, I went to Bahama Breeze earlier this year.
mhm.
And I had a really bad experience
Oh
actually.
wow,
So, but it depends on, I guess it depends. But you know what too? Like that was I don't know, about 5 months ago,
okay,
and me and my girl went after we went to the winery, and I don't know if that was like more deep into the pandemic because
okay,
it was really like unorganized. I felt like,
Oh.
and I actually had a reservation. I could do the reservations online. Same thing with Cheesecake Factory. You can do reservations online or whatever
Well,
like that.
we called yesterday, so we went to see what the reservations would be like, and they said online how long the waits would be. So we called them and said, "Could we make a reservation?" They said, "No, you got to come here in person." So we had to
Oh
drive.
wow,
Yeah,
that's
we had to
crazy.
drive there in person, do a reservation. It was 45 minutes, and we sat in the car until they text me and said it was time to come in.
Yeah, but from what I felt like, what I had, I don't know, it's something about the food. It wasn't great. It was like so-so, whatever.
Oh wow.
They said it's outside, but I don't know. That could have been because of like still like getting used to the capacity
Yeah, maybe.
seating,
Yeah.
pandemic, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But
What
that's
could you
cool though.
remember
Like you
what
had
you
nice.
had?
I had like I know she had this pasta, like a jerk pasta, maybe,
Okay.
or something like that, or whatever. And I think I had maybe some salmon, I think, and broccoli, and some type of maybe like shrimp on the side.
Okay.
But it just wasn't. It was okay. I ain't
May,
gonna ask you what you had because on the video, whatever,
yeah,
like
yeah. I
that.
was gonna
But
say maybe that's what happened when you get fake Jamaicans to make Jamaican food. Maybe.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, this was I said I'd rather go to the little bamboo spot out here
Right.
in Trenton with the real
Well,
Jamaicans and
yeah,
stuff
yeah,
like that
because you
and
know
get a
what?
better platter.
I went there a long time ago, and I didn't totally forgot it was a Caribbean thing. It didn't even hit me till we got there. Till Sandy was looking it up, and they had a one of the things on the menu. I was like, oh wow, okay. It sounded like, oh yeah, I guess they do make like more like Caribbean style stuff. And we
Right.
get there, and it was good. I mean, I say my food wasn't great, but it was good. But yeah, I can see what you're saying. With nobody had an accent, like so you could tell it was Americanized. You know what I'm saying? They just was making
Yeah, that's maybe
recipes.
what it
Yeah,
was. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Like there's a bunch of spots I could find that's much
Oh,
better. But I remember the first time I went, I was living in Florida actually. This when I
okay,
was living in Tampa to the one in Tampa, and that was actually pretty decent. So I don't know if
cool.
because as time passed, they get more Americanized or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah,
But also Florida has a lot of authentic Caribbeans living in
yeah,
there or whatever like that.
yeah. A
So
lot of
you
Caribbean
get a
people
lot.
migrate because of the weather. It resembles Jamaica and stuff like that in Florida. So
Yeah, because there's this place in Tampa called the Jerk Hut, and that's all you can eat Jamaican food, bro. That's like
okay,
on a lunchtime, whatever like that. Man, that place be packed with like white CEO executives or
yeah,
whatever. Like it's crazy because all you can eat Jamaican food, like buffet style in Florida or whatever. It's
yeah.
so good. But yeah, but back to that, yeah, I didn't really enjoy it this time. So I was like, yeah, I think I'm gonna go there for a while, or whatever. So
Okay. So after
but
we ate dinner yesterday, or pretty much it was kind of like lunch dinner, because we went to the Wolf Place. The appointment was at 11 a.m. And then driving for it was in Jackson, and we drove all the way to Cherry Hill, and the GPS screwed me up a little bit. So by the time we ate, it was a little after 3:30, maybe something like that. But but yeah, that's pretty much what we did. We came home, and then that was pretty much it. So I had her Valentine's Day part, did my part, and that was it. So, what about you, man?
So what happened? Was it like that was their earliest appointment? You said that's why it was like
Yeah.
after a week after home.
Well, no, yeah, this was crazy. Like 2 months ago, I called to do the wolf thing, and they was like,
Mm.
"Yeah, the first available date is February 20th." I was like,
Oh
"What?"
wow.
Yeah, it was 2 months out. Yeah.
Oh wow, that's
So
crazy
it
and
was cool
whatnot.
because it was close to Valentine's Day. So I was like, man, I wanted to get it on Valentine's Day because they do weekends. But yeah, nah, it was that far out.
Chris just said he laughing at the jerk cut. Jerk cut is amazing, bro. I wish I could. Man, listen, we used to go there for lunch like 3 times a week. Whatever, it's so good.
Yeah.
Um, but anyway, no, mine, as you know, because I don't have to, I'm filming the audience, not you or
Yeah,
whatever. But
yeah.
mine was pretty excellent and stuff like that. I wound up I guess I'll start with I don't want to start. I guess I'll start with her gift and then mine or whatever like that. So I wound up going to meeting her at this hotel. When I got there, she had the whole thing set up beautifully with all these balloons and whatnot throughout the room. That's the first thing I noticed was the balloons or whatever. She had candlelight going on.
That's cool.
She had the dinner set up and stuff like that. But here's the thing: at the end of each balloon, she had put pictures of us attached to the end of each balloon, pictures throughout our history or whatever like that. So they're
That's
like the
romantic,
balloons.
man. Yeah, that's
I know, right? It's so the real story with it like that. So it was a lot of work too. Like a hole in each picture and tied it to the string of each balloon or whatever like that. Like it was like arts and crafts going on type of deal. So that was cool. Had this great dinner that she got from this spot, and it was like we had crab legs, we had I had salmon and broccoli, which as you can see, there's always salmon in my life somewhere. I love salmon.
Yeah,
Like
and I don't like salmon. It's crazy.
that's crazy, bro.
Yeah.
So I had salmon and broccoli. I we and my gift, ironically, was a robe like you're wearing right now, whatever like that.
Oh, hold on,
So
hold on. You know what's crazy? I forgot you said that, and you was like, one of these days I'm gonna wear it, and I don't know why. This morning I was like, I'm not really getting dressed because we gotta go do our taxes. I was like, I'm just gonna throw my robe on, and I forgot that. And you was like, one of these days I'm gonna wear a robe, and I end up wearing my robe. Hey, listen, guys, if you watching, tell Mike to put his robe on. If you guys want to see Mike put his robe on, I'm just saying, guys, you should tell Mike he should put his robe on. Also, real quick, guys, you can chat as well. And we like to read the chat. We like you guys could tell stories and stuff like that as well. We'll definitely read it on air. But Mike, I think you should throw the robe on, man.
I mean, I can throw the robe on.
Let's robe it up. Let's robe it up.
I'll be right back.
All right.
Throw the robe on.
So let's see. So once again, thanks for jumping in, Cloud Proto. Thanks for jumping in, Dave. Thanks for jumping in, E Smack. Oh, we got Chris B in the building. I don't know. I never been to the jerk hut, but my thing is, I grew up. My family's Jamaican, so my grandma she came to the United States when I was like 8 or 9 or something. So I've been eating Jamaican food. So it's for me, it's like I typically don't like to go to Jamaican places because I feel like that's what I've been eating my whole life, you know. Oh my man, yo, that's a nice one. I might have to step mine up now, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
So
got that
as you
plush
can
look
see,
to it. Yeah,
yeah.
we
Like
might
I
have to
said, it
change
wasn't
the name of the show. You know what I'm saying? Like the robe warriors or something. I don't know.
far. I know. Got us some robes like we Ric Flair out here.
Right?
That's-
Woo! Hit it one time, Mike.
Woo! Gotcha. Um, okay, so back to the story. This was, my gift or whatever like that. Which it is, like you said, very plush. It's warm. I love it. I've always been a robe guy and stuff like that. Like, for several years. I think it was my love with Tony Soprano, his white robe he used to have all the time on The Sopranos. So
You still
that's
trying
what
to get
got
me to
me
watch
into.
The Sopranos? Was that a little? You threw that? That
Please,
was a little. Okay.
I'm telling you and Sandy will love it. Stuff
No, you
like
know what's
that.
funny?
So
The other day she was watching The Sopranos.
what is she
Yeah,
like
she was trying to
randomly, or
find
was she
stuff to
start?
watch, and so she was
Yeah,
watching The Sopranos. And I was like, "You watching The Sopranos?" She's like, "Yeah." She's like, "It's good." I was like, "I never watched it." She's like, "What?" I was like, "Yeah, I said that before." Yeah.
you have said it. Like that's missing off your list. You did Breaking Bad. Now you got to do Sopranos, whatever. So
Oh man. All right,
and
go
you
ahead.
did Game of Thrones. Now you do that. But anyway,
I did
so
Game of Thrones.
I know. I said you
Yeah.
did that already too. So so that was that night. We had some wine and enjoyed some stuff like that. So
Okay.
my gift and stuff like that. So you were instrumental, so I would definitely give you your props in the whole situation.
All
But
right,
here's my part.
wait. You just okay. You said you came to the hotel. There was the balloons up and everything. I want to slow it down a little bit. You just was like, you got up, put the robe on, came back, and was like, all right, yeah, and that was it. So
No, I didn't. I said the balloons. I said there was a nice dinner. I
okay,
said there was candlelight everywhere. I
nice.
said there was rose petals everywhere throughout the room. And then that led to my gift and stuff like
Okay,
that,
well,
which I opened.
what did you eat? What was dinner?
I think I said we had crab legs. She had steak. I had salmon. We had crab
Oh yeah, you
legs with
did say that.
sauce.
Okay,
Yeah, butter. The whole nine. It
the
was a
whole
great,
nine.
great.
Okay.
Yeah, great,
In the
night.
hotel
Great,
room,
great
or
dinner
you went out to eat?
in the hotel room.
Oh
No, in the hotel
wow,
room.
so
We had everything.
everything was set.
She did everything, bro. I
That's
felt like it
awesome.
was like one of those things that you pay for to get set up for you, but she did it herself or
Got
whatever.
you.
It was amazing or whatever. Like yeah. So but here's what it is or whatever like that. This was Saturday night. Valentine's Day was Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
I had so when I came to the room, and this is all important. So I came to meet her there, right? So all I had with me was my book bag and stuff like that. But there was no nothing else, no flowers, no candy, no balloons, or nothing like that, or whatever like that. So I have been telling her for weeks and stuff like that, like, I got you something, but I didn't get you all the traditional things or whatever like that. But I hope you like it. It's not that much. So I really, really downplayed what I had, and
Right.
she bought it actually, stuff like that. And so the words the end, she got kind of suspicious, but she pretty much bought it. So the next day. So before I get to it, I got to get a background on my gift and whatnot. So I'm watching Kev on Stage's wife. I don't think I ever told you this part, but I'm watching
Yeah,
Kev
yeah,
on
you told
Stage's
me.
wife. Okay, Miss Kev on Stage. She showed about weeks ago that she paid for this song to be done for him. And what they do is, and shouts out to songfinch.com. That's who did it, Songfinch. And what they do is that they actually make an entire song for you. So you give them the details of what you want to be in there. You can add, if it's a holiday like Valentine's Day, you can add the person's name. You actually pick the artist you want to do it. There's over like 40 artists on there, and you pick the genre: R&B, contemporary, rap. You can do whatever you want, and they will take that information and create a song for you and whatnot. And they send it to you, and if you want to make changes, you send it back. So it's almost like you're producing a song because you go back and forth
Can I say
with
something
them.
real quick? This is how
Yeah.
cool it is, guys. You can ask my wife. Yesterday, we're getting up, we're getting ready, and I'm singing your song. And my wife was like, "Yo, you still singing that song?" She was like, "Well, I guess you did listen to it like 40 times." But anyway, but
It
bro,
stays in
it's a
my head
good
too.
song.
It is. It's
This
a
is
really
like
good.
I'm singing the song. Like it's
Yeah, it's a really, really good song. So anyway, so they finish the song, but they only give you a song. That's all, and it's a beautiful thing. It's a great song or whatever like that. I wanted to step it up a bit, so what I wanted to do was have the song playing, in the background as I had pictures, collage of pictures, going across the screen and make a whole video out of it. That's when Anthony comes in, whatever, the extraordinaire. So tell them what you did as you go. You can answer.
so yeah, this was really cool, man. Listen, guys, you don't understand. Mike and I known each other for has it been 2 years now? Yeah, right? Yeah.
Almost like a year and a half. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, remember we started working at
Yeah, yeah.
Cellular.
In September, so almost 2 years.
Yeah, yeah. Well, September
Yeah,
passed, right? Wouldn't that be?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So
Okay, yeah,
anyway,
2 years.
we bonded like not instantly, but once we became cool, so I would do anything for Mike. So Mike was like, "Listen, you're into the videos and stuff. You think you can take?" He said, "I made this song for my girl." I was like, "Made a song?" He was like, "Yeah." Like, and when he explained it to me, like he just said, I was like, "Dude, that's pretty cool." He was like, "Would you? I'm gonna give you some pictures. Could you put it together?" And I'm like, dude, like that's my thing. Matter of fact, just Friday, a friend of mine's reached out to me like 3 weeks ago. Said, "Hey, I got a birthday party on Friday, and it's a '70s theme, and my mom's gonna be there. It's gonna be special. Could you come and just videotape the party and create a video?" So this is how much I like to do this stuff. That Mike reached out to me, somebody else, and I love it. So the cool thing is when Mike said, I said, "Okay, well, send me the pictures." He sent me 31 pictures and he sent me the song and he said, "That's you." And I said, "Well, we could get together, like, because I want you to pick out the transitions, meaning when one picture go to the next." He was like, "Nah, you got this." I was like, "All right, cool." So the cool thing is I love Mike is the guy. Mike is my guy. He's a great guy, and I really get into stuff. So when he sent me these pictures, and the song is amazing. Again, I sing it right, walk around the house, but in the song, it had stuff that happened in their life. And when he sent me the pictures, and I said, "Mike, well, how do you want me to do it?" He said, "Just put the pictures together, from beginning to end. I put them in the order I want you to." I said, "All right, cool." As I'm listening to the song, I'm like, "Whoa." The song mentions when we play mini golf. He got a picture of mini golf, but the picture is like in the beginning. I'm like, all right, and I'm trying to contact him. I don't know, for whatever reason, I think I was trying to call you. I couldn't get you. I'm like, look, I'm just gonna take the liberty to switch it up because I have to make when he say mini golf, the picture of mini golf come out. When he say we flirted in the beginning, the pit like I took it upon myself, and my wife helped too because he says a part in the song. We spent time together on a holiday. My wife was like, "That one picture you got is just them together." She was like, "You got to pick a different picture." So she was like, "There's a picture with them holding a cake. That's obviously a special day." So okay, fine. We switched that, and I'm switching pictures, and dude, it's awesome. If you guys get a chance to see it, like you got to see it. It's amazing. It's
I was gonna say you should play it if you have it.
Bro, I can play it. If you like, I can play it. Yeah.
I know. Go ahead. Play it for the audience. It's only 3 minutes or whatever.
Yeah. All right, cool.
3 minutes.
I am gonna hook up my phone and I'm gonna play.
Yeah, wait, do that. But I'll keep talking while you're doing that. So anyway, I'll keep for Valentine's Day, and so what happened was she was getting
hold on, Mike.
Dressed.
Hold on.
Okay.
Oh, there you go. Go ahead.
Okay. And as she when she came out to finish getting dressed and whatnot, I had it all queued up on my tablet. So I gave her the card for Valentine's Day that goes with it, which you'll see. No, you won't see that, but I gave her the card, and I gave her this Pandora's Charm, which was a cassette tape to go with the song. And then I played this song, and she loved it. She was amazed, and she was very, very happy about it. And it was a great, great, great Valentine's Day. All right, so moving forward, I just want to finish the rest of the day or whatever like that. So we then go and back to my house and stuff like that. And remember, to go back to the beginning, I didn't have anything with me. So I didn't have any flowers, any balloons, any candy, nothing like that. And I said, I don't have that, over and over and over again. And then we get back to my house, and she goes in my room. And there's flowers, candy, balloons, all the traditional Valentine's Day stuff. So I was non-traditional and traditional at the same time. And it wound up being a great Valentine's Day. And then we went out to dinner that same night and had a wonderful dinner. So so that was my Valentine's Day. And in the middle between there, I went to see my daughter and gave her a beautiful necklace, which she still loves right now, and she's wearing every day. So yeah, it wound up being great. But this song plays while he's doing that. It's amazing, man. It's like you're really producing your own song for any holiday, any event, anything you want to do, and you can actually go and listen to each artist, like snippets of the songs they've already made, to see which voice suits what you're trying to do. And that's what I did, because I'm very particular. So they'll just throw you an artist, but I wanted to get the voice that I wanted for my stuff and whatnot. So it's pretty cool. Like, I think I might want to do one for Mother's Day for my mother, stuff like that, same type of concept and whatnot. But just randomly, they have a lot of coupon codes if you're looking for stuff like that or whatever. So it's pretty dope. So hopefully you guys look at this.
Let me know when you're ready.
But definitely shouts out to Sandy and Anthony for helping me out, getting this done, stuff like that. So, are you back? Yeah.
I gotta make sure.
I don't know what he's talking, but we can't hear him. I don't know if he knows that or not, stuff like that. But would you be my man? Let's see right now. The only thing I need in my life. Would you be my man?
We were together, ate lunch, flirted every day. Even back then, your smile left me in the daze. I fell in love with you.
Are you ready, bro?
What was I supposed to do? I don't want this dream to end. So would you be my Valentine?
Well, since we're live, and I know what's in my next topic.
The only thing I need in my life is your love. Must have been sent from above, yeah. Built me up so much. Would you be my Valentine? holidays, making future goals and dreams. I fell in love with you. What was I supposed to do? I don't want this dream to end. So would you be my Valentine? The only thing I need in my life is your love. Must have been sent from above, yeah. Built me up so much. Would you be my Valentine? Kia, you know as well as I know, our love will last for a while. And a minute to win it with you. So would you be my Valentine? The only thing I need in my life is your love. Must have been sent from above, yeah. Built me up so much. Would you be my Valentine? So would you be my Valentine? The only thing I need in my life is your love. Must have been sent from above, yeah. Built me up so much. Would you be my Valentine?
All right. I got you. Hold on, guys. Let me get us back together. Say something, Mike. All right, hold on. This is all together. My bad, guys. But I had to get that on. Probably just got to do this. Yep, this changed.
All right, Mike. You can't hear me? Yeah, I can't hear you. Hold on. Hold on. Let me switch this up. All right, say something, Mike. You know what? I think I'm not sure if you, because I was able to hear you earlier. Sorry about that, guys. Let me all right, say something now, Mike.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay. Good. We're back.
We're back.
All right, cool. Hey, man, I appreciate you playing that, guys. Let me know what you guys thought about that. Shouts out to Soundfish for making the song. Shouts out to Sandy and Anthony for doing the pictures in the video for me and stuff like that. So.
And sorry for the technical issues. I wasn't ready. That was a quick on the whim type thing, but it was cool just to be able to play it. I would have had it where it was ready and the banner wouldn't have been in the way, but you guys see it. It was awesome, brother. That's one of the coolest things I ever seen somebody do for Valentine's Day, and I'm glad that you asked me to be a part of it. And you're amazing, man.
And you're right. That song stays in my head all the time too.
It
So it does. I
it
really
does,
like it.
man.
Yeah, it's a really good song. Whatever. So anyway, let's move forward, man.
Okay.
Beyond Valentine's Day. So
Well, let's get into
ironically,
the comments real
okay, go ahead.
quick.
Go
So
ahead.
I didn't want to say anything. I'm not sure if you've seen her, but she did pop in here.
Yeah. She's in there. Yeah.
But Tracy said, now that is a robe. Yep.
Yep.
Well, his thing is a robe. Let's see. Chris B said, y'all have great chemistry for such a short time. It's true. And
That's
Spectre's
facts.
in the building. What's up? He said, what's up to everybody? Chris said, what's up? E Smack was like, play it, you know. Micaiah said, OMG, guys. And Spectre said, good job, Anthony. And Micaiah said, the best gift ever. Mike, thank you for your help to Sandy and Anthony. You are most welcome. I'm just still smiling that I sing the song because it's a cool song. So
Right, man. Well, that was a great first topic, man. So ironically, I want my
okay.
first topic is a question I seen on Instagram. And it's about love, right? So it kind of goes with the next topic. So when we talk about love, the question is love to you, is love something that is given or earned when you're in a relationship?
Right. Man, that is a good one. So just love in general, we're not saying like in love. We're not breaking the difference between in love and love. I
Right.
just had to ask. Okay.
Yeah.
So for me, um I for me, I just I end up I'm one of those people where they say do you wait for respect or do you just give somebody respect? And I'm more like I will give something before I even receive it. I'm more in a good faith system, right? So for
Hmm.
me, I fall in love or I love people just for the person they are. I love personalities. I love actions. So I'm able to love or fall in love with somebody just for who they are. They don't even like with me and my wife now. I told her I love her before she told me she loved me. Like I said the words
Yeah.
first. I'm
Okay.
just like that. I don't care what I'm not I don't care you don't have to let me not say I was going to say swindle me. You don't have to do anything to make me end up loving you. I'll just love you out of what I feel that made me love you. You know what I'm saying? If that makes sense. Like, you know how some people try to get your love? Like some people feel like, oh, I'm gonna do this and this and that. And you're like, oh man, that was pretty cool. I kind of fell in love with that person or love them even more. I love based off of my feelings. Like I just start to feel it because that person, who they are. Mainly personality is the first thing that makes me kind of develop my love for someone develops. If that makes sense.
It makes sense. Yeah. That's why it's a good question, I feel like, or
Yeah.
whatever. Because for me, I'm total opposite. Like it's something that has to be earned. The same thing
Okay.
with respect for me.
Okay.
Like, I just feel like that, based off of, I mean, you just say actions, but based off your actions, things that you do, things that you say, then you earn
Mhm.
that type of love from me,
Right.
kind of like maybe not like a point system, but I do feel like that just because of who you are. Now, I can say that, sometimes a longer time frame,
Hmm.
you can wind up loving someone just because it's been that long and stuff. Like let's say if you're in a bad if you're in a relationship that's not great for 5 years, you can wind up saying, I love the person or whatever,
Hmm.
but I'm not in love or whatever.
Right.
So I can't say that can happen. But generally, love is something that has to be earned, like, and I think it's a much better love if it is earned because you're
Hmm.
like, yo, I love the person, like in the relationship, I love this woman because of not only because of who she is, because of what she's done, stuff like that.
Right.
So for me, yeah, I would say earned.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
one thing I want to make clear for the people watching, we originally, maybe some of you guys that are new to watching, Mike and I, we come up with 4 topics, and we don't know what the other person's topic is. So when we decided to go live, we said, let's kill a topic each, right? So it's not going to be 8 topics, it's going to be 6, because we wanted to leave room for you guys. So you guys could literally answer the questions that we ask each other. So just know, if you guys want to give a story or something, you could make a couple sentences. We'll read that on air as well, and we could talk a little bit about your situation. So I just want you guys to know. And then also, part of the format is we're going to read a question each. Remember, Mike has no clue what my questions are. I have no clue what his questions are. And then at the end, I'm going to read, he's going to pick between the number 1 to 217 from the book of questions. And then I'm going to pick a number from his versus questions, and we're going to go through those as well. So just wanted, for some of the people who are just jumping in, I want to really let people know that you can comment and you can give us your stories as well, or answer the questions.
All right. What you got next? I know you got to go, so let's keep moving forward.
Yeah, it's cool. I got about an hour before I have to go, so we're doing pretty good. And if we depending on whatever, I could jump in the shower, but if not, it's all good. So here's a quick question. I was curious. So Sandy, especially right now, okay, with COVID, last night or yesterday, she got a sore throat, and she's like, "Man, my throat is pretty sore." She was like, "What if I got strep throat or something?" Now, obviously, whenever somebody has anything wrong with them, you instantly say COVID, right? So I instantly was like, "Girl, you might have COVID," messing with her, right? And she was
Right.
like, no, maybe I Googled, she's Queen Captain Google. She Googled it. Maybe she has laryngitis or strep throat, right? So anyway, she felt better as the day was going on, which was cool. But the question is, how often do you get sick? Because what I wonder is, any people, like, we went a bunch of different places yesterday. We went to the wolf thing and she had her mask on, so she silently coughed because she
Right.
didn't want people to hear her cough, because nowadays people go crazy, right? And even in the restaurant, she like had to kind of hold coughing a little bit because her throat was bothering her. She don't have a fever or anything, right? But I was like, it's so crazy, like, people can't get sick now. You can't just get regular sick, because apparently that's not a thing, because it has to be
Yeah.
COVID. But so I was like, well, the cool thing is, I don't get sick as often. And she gets sick a lot more than me. But I was like, oh, I wonder, let me ask you, let's discuss being sick, or how often do you get sick? Do you?
For me, normally about once a year, I would
Okay.
say. However, I feel like for me, it was more like I feel like my immune system's pretty good and stuff
Cool.
like that. And I've gone years without getting sick at
Right.
certain points. But then when it hit me hard. Like I remember 2011, no 10, never forget. Like I had the flu at the time, and it was the worst flu I ever had. Well, nah, it could have been worse than the flu, who knows? But anyway, I remember this vividly because my temperature was so high I couldn't stop coughing. I was just so sick. And I remember I had tickets to go see a comedy show, me and a girlfriend and I was with and stuff like that. And it was so funny, but my cough was so bad and my chest was, I couldn't even laugh. Every time I would try to laugh, it would cough and it would hurt.
Oh,
So I was
wow.
mad. I was like sitting there silently, like laughing on the inside, these hilarious jokes. It was so hard. I was so mad over like that. But yeah, that was one of the worst things I ever had. But besides that, not very often. Now, it's weird because it's like it's COVID out here, which is a highly contagious, obviously, pandemic level virus. However, I work from home, so I'm not around people as much. And like a lot of other people, I've taken a lot of steps to improve my immune system,
Right.
even more. So, and now if you think about it, like now it's just not like I started. Now I've been doing this shit for 6-7 months
Right.
or whatever, probably more, 8-9 months. So, I take vitamin C every day. I take a vitamin C capsule. I take regular vitamins every day. I do elderberry every day, like the stuff I do. So, I hope that I don't, of course, knock on wood, but I was never a person that got sick very often anyway. In my entire life, like I was that kid who had like perfect attendance and was proud of it, and like
Yeah.
elementary and middle school and stuff like that. Like I had all the blue ribbons and stuff like that. I used to collect them or whatever like that. Like I never missed time for stuff. And worse than like more stuff for me is kind of like stomach aches and things like that.
Okay.
But as far as like actual, like, I guess cold stuff, no. Like I give it my own self food poisoning by eating bad meat before, but that was
Yeah,
happened last year.
that's human error.
Yeah, that's human error. Yeah, exactly. Like I was like, maybe it's still good, you know what I mean? But it wasn't, obviously. But this was like years ago, last year, I think. But no, the last time I was actually right around this time last year. I was sick.
Okay. Well, let me cough real quick. All right.
Lord.
Okay, I was being a little extra. I did have to cough, but let me look at the chat real quick. I see Collins Dynasty just jumped in. What's going on, man? Thanks for jumping in. Loss of taste and smell is a big one. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. So here's what's cool is I'm like you, but without vitamin C or anything. I don't know what it is, but I had a crazy 10-year stretch. I remember the last time I got sick before I'm gonna tell when my most recent time, but it was 2010. It was in January because it was my best friend. He lives in Arkansas now, but it was his birthday. He came to my house, and I was still married to my ex-wife. So he came over. We had dinner with him and his wife. Sorry, him and his wife. And I was really sick. I must have had the flu or something. It was in January. His birthday, January 6th, and I was really sick, and I never forget that. And fast forward, I got 10 years later was the first time I actually got really, really sick. It was 2010 at 2010. Wow. It was 2020. And man, I had this like a fever came out of nowhere and I got sick twice in 2020. It was weird. But I had a 10-year stretch. And but I was still fighting it. Like I do the opposite when people say like, oh, you got to get cold or whatever. I sweat it out. So I put on clothes, I get in the hot tub and I sweat it out and I break my fever pretty fast. But they said it's pretty dangerous. But that's kind of what I do. But yeah, I don't get sick often at all. Like I said, I mean, a fever, it took me like 10 years. It was crazy. And I don't take any medication either. I don't take any vitamins. I don't take anything. But
I have a question.
Mhm.
Who is this Big Mike imposter in the chat? Talking to you, whatever like that.
Oh, you know what's funny? When you and I start doing our thing, so I knew him for a while, and when you and I started doing our thing, I said, "Yeah, me and my boy Big Mike." He said, "Nah, I'm Big Mike." I said, "Nah, my boy said he was Big Mike since he was a little kid." So he actually does a podcast with a couple of guys, but he's Big Mike. But I told him, I said, "I don't know, bro. My Big Mike has been Big Mike since he was a kid."
Forever, bro. I've come on, man. Like anybody who know me in the chat since I was a kid, know I've been Big Mike for over 30 years, whatnot. So
Yeah, and it's funny is, and which is cool. Thanks for joining. Thanks for checking it out, Big Mike. Big Mike and I, we when I used to stream PlayStation games, he played with me maybe like 2 times. We just know each other from gaming, and he has his like a gaming channel on Facebook. But it's crazy that he tuned in, and I appreciate it, man. Thanks for tuning in. And I've watched your podcast every so often. But yeah, we're live now. This is our 25th episode. We've been doing this for a while, and
yeah,
but it's cool that we decided to take the show on the road, as Mike and I call it. But
definitely
yes,
appreciate it, bro. But we'll make you Big Mike number 2.
well, let me ask you this: who's older? I
I
want
don't
to know
know.
who's older. So Big Mike in the chat, let us know your age. And Big Mike here, you're 36, right?
I'm 36. Yeah,
Yeah, okay. So
yeah,
I'm curious.
yeah.
Funny if you
Huh?
guys are the same age. That'd be funny.
Well, he said he's been Big Mike for 35 years. So I don't know if that means
Yep.
35 years old.
Well, guess
But if
what?
not, I got him.
You got him. So
43, he might have me.
no, what true, but it depends on when he was being called Big Mike. He said for 35 years. Well, I guess if you're 36, you would have literally had to be being called Big Mike at 1 year old. So I don't know.
I don't believe him. I'm gonna say Big Mike number 2. Whatever.
All right,
Anyway,
well, listen. Hey, listen, he's on the
and
show, so you're Big Mike,
right, and
number one.
has a tattoo that says Big Mike right there. So does he have
Oh,
that?
hey, Big Mike in the chat. I don't know, bro. He got the tattoo. So, and guys, this is how interactive we are too. We want you
Right.
guys to comment. We will read your comments. We want you guys to if you feel comfortable, tell a story or something if it goes along with one of our questions. But but yeah, Mike, I rarely get sick. To answer
Yeah.
the own question, and but I think for me, I built my immune system by not taking anything. Not like vitamins. Vitamins obviously is good for you. I'm not telling anybody don't take vitamins. But I used to take vitamins at one point in time. I used to take the GNC vitamins, and then I felt what I did is I test myself. I took it for a long time. and your pee will be super yellow, and that just pretty much means that it's so much high concentration, my body isn't dissolving all of it. My body isn't using all of it. But then I tried not taking it and seeing if I felt the same, and I don't know. I'm always high strung and a lot of energy, so a lot of people take vitamins for different reasons. Like you said, you could have a low vitamin C, you could be low on whatever. I feel like for whatever reason, the vitamins I was taking, my body couldn't absorb it all because it wasn't really replenishing me, so I was just peeing it out. So I don't know. I didn't feel the same when I took vitamins. So that was my own little test.
Yeah, I don't take the multi one because I'm
Right.
with you. I think that was like not what I needed, and it
Right.
doesn't. It might have been giving me too much stuff
Mhm.
like that. I just take an actual just C, like by
Right.
itself or whatever, and then I take a B12 as well, like separately. Like,
Mhm.
but I don't take the one that got like 15, 20 things and stuff
Right.
like that. I just felt like that was doing too much for me. But moving on forward, man, I just want to keep this thing turning,
Yes,
and we
sir.
appreciate all the comments and the love. So I don't know, have you seen, of course you have seen the news about the blizzard in Texas and everybody losing power and and lights and not having water for weeks and stuff
Mhm.
like that. And it's like a two-part question actually now I think about it.
Mhm.
But just kind of, I don't know if you read about how the governor fled to Mexico at the beginning
Oh,
and
I
stuff
didn't know
like
that.
that.
I just know he made the comments like he switched his story up or whatever.
The governor left, and what happened was he left and took his family. He set on vacation, but he
Mhm.
went to Mexico at the very beginning, as everybody in this whole state was losing their power, didn't have water, people were dying, and
Right.
blah
Right.
blah blah. And then he came back and said that no, I was taking my girls to Mexico because they were out of school or whatever, which whatever is not cool. Then the mayor of one of the cities in Texas, he actually put out a statement that said that people need to stop looking for government handouts and sink or swim or whatever like that. And you don't have power, then figure it out, blah blah blah. And it was just like a horrible
Mhm.
statement. And don't look for the government or the power company to help you or whatever. Like, you guys got to be tough enough, blah blah blah. He wanted resigning the next day because
Yeah. Yeah, I did
his
hear
statement
about
was
that.
so horrible. So what
Right.
do you think about stuff like that? Yeah,
Um. Okay,
yeah.
so two
What's your
parts.
thoughts on it?
One, I think when you're a politician, it's sad to say, but you kind of gotta say the right things, right? It's called PR. Like who was on your PR team and said, go ahead and say that, So I feel like he shouldn't have said that because at the end of the day, look, he had to resign. So should have known when you were saying that I mean, again, we like to talk about logics versus emotions. He obviously was
Mhm.
probably running hot, and so he let his emotions get to him. Now,
Mhm.
was he 100% wrong? I mean, I don't know. Um, I feel me personally, I feel like sometimes, I mean, this is a extreme case, right?
Mhm.
But I feel like sometimes the government do hand out too much, like and also they don't check up. Like real quick, I feel like welfare sometimes. I know people who abuse the system. So on one hand, I get what I kind of agree that the government shouldn't give too many hands out. I'm a person that I worked hard for everything I had. I don't like handouts. I don't like owing people. But in this extreme case where it's freezing, first of all, Texas isn't used to this. This is how crazy it was. A friend of mine's, Kim, who was she used to live in New Jersey. She's been living in Texas for like 15 years now. She posted a thing about Texas and freezing and stuff.
Mhm.
I literally thought she was back in Jersey because she visited a couple months
Wow.
ago. So I was like, "Oh, are you back in Jersey?" She's like, "No, I'm in Texas." Like, I didn't even know it snowed in Texas. I was like, "Well," I thought she was joking. So when I was listening to the news, because I like to listen to on the way to work, I was like, "Oh, she was for real." And I heard a story how a mother and a son went in a car and died because the snow was so high, and they don't know, they don't get snow like that. Well, the tailpipe was being blocked by snow, so the carbon monoxide came back into the car, and they
Right.
died in the car overnight,
Mm.
warming themselves up. So for him to say what he said was pretty harsh because of the situation. But I do agree that the government do too many handouts. But for this, the government should have came in like, this is extreme, and I'm not sure all of what they could have did, if they could have maybe got a real big building and had a bunch of people stay in the building or whatever. Now the other part, I will say this, and if you take it harsh, it is what it is. Sorry, but I'm just answering the question. Um, if I have the means, if I'm the governor or whoever, and I have the means and the money and the wealth to get out of a bad situation with my family, that's what I'm going to do. Now, let's say it's Mike and I, right? Mike is wealthy, right? Mike got a lot of money, and I don't. we have a super bad snowstorm, and Mike is like, I'm like, oh my god, this is crazy, Mike. Our thermos, our water heater broke. Not the water heater, but the
Yeah.
what is it that heat the house? My I'm saying thermostat. I'm saying water heater, but
Oh, furnace.
my furnace breaks, and you're like, Dad, that sucks, bro. I told you should have got a better job or whatever. You know, I was like, yeah, no, I don't have the money. You was like, I'm like, what are you gonna do? It was like, oh man, I got family who live in Arizona, or so we're gonna fly out. I was like, oh, that's cool. You know, I'm not gonna expect Mike to not go to Arizona because I don't have money. Like, that's just foolish. Mike has a family and a daughter, and he got to go. His kids, like, I'm not gonna be mad at Mike. That's just me, because I'm one of these people where I'm just more of a realist. Like, I can't expect Mike to torture himself and be in the same situation with me if he doesn't have to. So for
Right.
me, I wouldn't. That's me. If the people who are probably, oh, thanks, Mike, you pulled up. People can see more of the robe. For
Right. Right.
me, the people who would be upset with the governor or whoever who went to Mexico, I don't even care if my man came out and said, this is crazy, I'm going to Mexico. Bro, go to Mexico. I mean, you got the money, you could get on a plane, take your kids to Mexico. It's warm. Like, don't, if I can't, but you can. That's just me. I feel like, for me, yeah, I wouldn't want somebody to be stuck in the same situation as me, and they don't have to, but they're doing it for me. Like, nah, don't do that to yourself. Don't do that to your family. Like, what if you're like, you know how crazy it would be if one of his kids died, and but his wife would have been like, so you made us sit here and suffer, and we didn't have to, and one of our kids died. Like, you would be kicking yourself. So anyway, that's my answer to that part. You know.
Yeah. I don't agree with that, and not necessarily. I mean, I agree with the overall premise. Like, let's say
Right.
you and I, like the scenario that you gave.
Right.
However, kind of like you said earlier, when you take the job as a lead official over a city, state, or country or whatever like that, you know, maybe country's different because the
Right.
president they're gonna protect, but other things or whatever, like, you got to act a little differently and stuff like that. Like, you can't have the state that you run drowning, let's say if it was a hurricane, or freezing like they were in Texas, and you like off the grid somewhere, like, you know, well, hope by the time I get back, the state still look all right or whatever like that. Like, no, like, it's almost to me like being a captain of a boat. You gotta go down with the ship. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, to me, it's like, and that's like a, you know, you've heard that before.
Yeah, I definitely heard the captain of the ship going down with the ship, but I think that's a archaic saying that was probably hundreds and hundreds of years old. You know what I'm saying?
I,
Yeah.
I don't agree, because I'm like, oh, you are the leader or whatever. You can't not be around.
Yeah, no, I definitely think that person, let me get this off the screen. That person should definitely protect themselves and their family. So you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. That's just me personally. Yeah, I wouldn't. But you can finish. Sorry.
But I get it, but not when you take that job. To me, it's kind of like that's what you're not supposed to do. Like to me, it's like when you took this job, you knew, like, okay, my circumstance is different now. I'm not just like a regular person, even if I got money. Now, if an
I,
actor or actress
yeah.
or whatever, if they did it, I understand. They got the means, whatever. But by you being the governor of the state who's having issues, you can't be in Mexico on a
Well,
vacation.
I'll say this real quick. I think you're mistaking somebody who's in the military, right? So they're trained to listen. You know, there is no fight or flight. Like, you're gonna fight, not flight. This is a government official. This ain't some dude in the army with a gun and, oh, you know, listen, we're gonna kill or be killed. We're staying here. You know, or the captain of the Navy. You know, going down with the ship. These are different. These are regular people regular people who became in office to serve and be a politician. The politician isn't a military official. Like, the military, I expect. Like, bro, did you see the captain, the Marine left? Like,
Bro,
what?
but the governor of a state, people look to the governor for guidance daily. Governor Murphy in New Jersey gives a daily report every day about coronavirus or whatever like that.
Hold up,
If
hold
he
up,
was
hold up.
gone for like, hold on, if he was gone
Yeah.
for like 6 weeks or whatever like that, and they'd be like, oh, where the hell is Murphy at or whatever. People look every day
Right.
to tune into his report. Now, he can have anybody else give the report. Joe Schmo, but like, I'm busy. But no. You, the governor, you give the report. Same
I,
thing with this situation or whatever. He should be given a daily report. He should be there, like, you know, it's here, you know, we, like, because we are Texans, we are going through it, but we will get through this or whatever. Like
Right.
it shows like just for the people, it gives them hope or whatever, because their lead official, like you said, is there with them and saying that we'll get through this together. So it's like that's my opinion.
Yeah. Well, remember they got on Governor Christie when he was at the beach at that one time. This is recent. The beaches was closed off, and but he took his family to the beach, and it was like in a newspaper, and they made a big deal about that. But
Yeah,
but yeah, I mean,
yeah,
me personally, I look at a government official as I look at politicians different than I look at the military. The military is different, right? But I feel like, yeah, I'm not holding a politician. Listen, where are you gonna? First of all, where are you staying at? So we all got no power. Where are you at? Like, yeah, man, get out of here, man. But that's me. What about the
All right.
anything else you want to say before we go into these comments?
No, go ahead in the
Yeah, let
comments,
me
and then we'll get
check
back.
out the comments. But let me just see. Let's see. I want to back and forth with
We're
you
up
and
to what he said. He's 43. That's the last thing you read
I
before.
say 43. East Mac said, bro had the tattoo at like 16. Big Mike number 2 in the chat said, nice, nice. I don't have a tattoo. LOL. He said, we got 6 people watching. Let's get them likes up. Oh, thanks, Big Mike. I appreciate it, man. He said, how YouTube works if you want the show to do good and get some more, get them likes up. This is true. So, guys, make sure you get them likes up. I said the more likes, the more YouTube will push your videos. Inspector said he's a senator in Texas, and I think it's just a bad look for a government official since around that same time, other senators from other states were busy raising funds to help the people in Texas. That is a good point.
Nice.
You got other people helping your place out, and you're nowhere to be found. Big Mike in the chat said, F Snow, I hate it. I'm surprised they let you write that word. I'm used to people writing that and it block out their thing. East Mac said he thought he could be like Trump and just say anything that he could that come to mind. Yeah, I mean, Trump's the only person to get away with that. And then last thing, Spectre said, I think in general, being a governor official, you are being put on a pedestal since a lot of people look up to them for example or guidance. Good info, good info, guys. Thank you for adding that. Yeah, I mean, it's deep, man. It's deep. I said to Sandy this morning, she said, you think you're going to get off in time for us to go? I said, yeah. So, you know, what's crazy? Mike and I, our first show, like it was a shorter than usually, but I said, because we're live, when me and Mike record our shows, and guys, please go back and watch the shows. They're really good. We get into some really heated debates sometimes, but our regular recorded shows, we'll be on the topic for like a half an hour. Why? Because it's just me and Mike talking and we're recorded. But on live, we got people in the chat. People help throwing stuff and break us up. And plus, we don't want to go on and on and on because, you know, people are watching. So, but let me send Mike an invite. Oh, matter of fact, I think he could just jump right back in, which is cool. But just in case, I'll send him an invite. It looked like he popped out. So well, let me get him back in here. Whoops, wrong person. All right. You guys just seen some emails come across the screen. Don't be emailing nobody if you don't know them, all right? But I mean, I get what you guys are saying, but I don't look at a politician like an army general. You know, I feel like it's archaic to be like, "Oh, you better not take your family somewhere safe in a hurricane. You better stay here because there's other people in the hurricane." That's like, okay, let's say a hurricane come in Florida, right? And you know, they say everybody get out of the city, evacuate the city, and the governor's like, but I'm not going nowhere till I find out everybody's gone, or I'm not going nowhere because I know everybody can't go. What type of stupidity is that? Like, I don't, that's yeah, I don't know. That's not, that makes no sense to me. So I don't know. Oh, let me find out. My wife is on here. When you start jumping in here, my wife don't be watching the show. But definitely comment since you're in the show. Um, oh, my boy, Mr. Illmatic, where you been at? He said, "What's going on, my guys?" And he said, "I'm late to the party. There's no right or wrong answer." Yeah, I mean, it is kind of, it's hard, man. I mean, I'm gonna say this for me. If me and my family, again, like I said, was in a hurricane, we're getting out of here, man. Um, Let me just write Mike real quick. Yeah, I mean, we're getting out of here. I'm sorry. And that might sound bad to some people, but I don't think it's that bad. I don't think it's that bad. We're getting out of here. We're gonna protect ourselves. Like, I'm not gonna have my kids and my family potentially could die because I'm a government official. That's kind of, it's not a military thing. But I do get what you guys are saying. Here, Mike should be back any minute. So what I'm going to do is, my question was up next. So I'm going to go to my question. I'm going to read it to you guys. You guys could actually answer my question. And when he jumps in, he could answer my question. And I'll give my own answer. But let's see if you guys actually want to answer my question. And he said he's coming. He had to reset his PC. So my next question is, let's see. So we used to do a show. It's bad that I said used to, but it seems like it's not coming back anytime soon. But we used to do a show called Mental Theater, and a lot of you guys liked it. It was where we went over movies. So we went over movie shows, comic books, stuff like that. It was like a little geeky show, a couple black guys and the black girl on the show talking about comic books and stuff. It was kind of crazy, but it was cool just to show that anybody can be into geeky stuff, video games, blah, blah, blah. So I want to go into, my question is going to be, what's the most anticipated upcoming movie you're looking forward to seeing? So let me just say, okay. Write him back, say okay. So you guys seen trailers, and you know that there are some movies coming out in the movies, but they're also coming out in HBO Max. So what are the most well, you got to pick one. What's your most anticipated upcoming movie? That's what I want to know. I know what mine is, but I want to read what some of you guys want to say. Actually, I'll give you a little bit of time. Let me go back into the comments first, real quick. Let's see. Mr. Illmatic 1993 said the optics make it look funny. I agree with that. Again, he's talking about being a government official and leaving the state because there's a pandemic, pretty much, or issues. All right, let's get my boy Big Mike back in the building. Let's see. Mike, what I did is I asked the next question, and
Yeah.
I said I'll just people could answer, but they're still answering the last question. Mr. Illmatic jumped up in here, so that's cool.
Okay.
Haven't seen him in a while.
Yeah, that's Ray. What's up, Ray? Shouts out to Ray.
Yeah, he said I'm late to the party. There's no right or wrong answer for the whole governor thing. He said it comes down to the way you lead. And then my wife has actually came on the show. Look at that.
Shouts out to Sandy Cheeks.
Yeah. She said that's because I can hear you since I'm usually in the room when you do the show. Okay, because I said, oh wow, you're not on the show. But that's cool that she actually jumped in. She went into another room. Mr. Illmatic said the optics make it look funny. And Makia said, I think government officials have a duty to serve the people. They are expected to hang in the trenches. And E Smack said, I believe that happens. Government is the last to leave unless that just in movies. Yeah, I think that's just in movies. All right, so before I get into the question, because I want to say this last part to Mike, my next question, what I said was this, Mike, my last part to say on the whole thing is this will be like the governor of Florida, and there's a hurricane, right? And we know a hurricane can kill and destroy. And I say, I'm not leaving until every last person leaves. Well, we know there's people who stay during a hurricane. They're like, I'm staying with my house. So the governor would say, I'm not going nowhere during this hurricane. My wife and my kids and my family, they staying here because I know some people ain't leaving. Nah, no. But that's what I think.
I don't want to keep going, bro, but I just feel like that everything in the chat, we appreciate the comments, is what they said correct. Governor should be the last to leave. You got it's a duty to stand there and stay in the trenches with the people. If they're suffering, you should be as well. Because how are you going to come back and 2 weeks later and be like, stand by me or vote for me and stuff like that. Like, bro, we suffering. You was on drinking mojitos in fucking Mexico and shit like that. Like, nah, I'm just not cool with that. But I want to get to the next topic because I know you got to go some.
So the next topic I said was I mentioned mental theater, and I mentioned how we I don't know if it's coming back, but at the end of the day, I wanted to get into some movie stuff. So my question was, what's the most anticipated movie that you're looking for? Most anticipated upcoming movie. And it could be on HBO Max. You could go to the movies, but what's the most anticipated upcoming movie for you? And Spectre said Mortal Kombat. Sandy said, "What's up, Big Mike?" Mr. Illmatic said, "What's good?" Spectre said, "To be fair, government officials are public servants. We elect them with the expectation of their support. He is entitled to a vacation, but he shouldn't be exempt from scrutiny." Yeah, that's my thing. I didn't say you can't talk bad about me. All right. But I'm just saying, if I got to protect my wife and my kids, I'm out. Now, real quick. So if I went to school and I made a lot, I went to school, I did what I had to do to make a good life for myself, to make a decent money, that if something catastrophic happened to my city, I could have the means to get up and jump on a plane and get away. I'm going to do that. What's the point of me even? I'm just saying, that's it.
You serve the people, bro. That's
You know
it's
what's
not the
funny?
same.
You use the term trenches. What the heck? This ain't the military. You stay in the trenches with the people. Yeah, if I was a Marine, yeah, I'm staying in trenches. This ain't no trenches. Like that's
it's a hypothetical trench because your imaginary
nah,
trench because of what's going on.
nah.
But I will say this: we all make decisions in life, right? So, like you said, you're not saying don't talk bad about him. You're not saying don't scrutinize him. This decision could play a part in his next re-election campaign.
And
So you're right. He's entitled to say, "Listen, I want to save my family," but he should go in that knowing that this might hurt my next election
But
process.
let me real quick, devil's advocate. The crazy thing is though, had he stayed, right, and let's say one of his kids died, everybody would have been like, "Bro, why'd you stay?" Not everybody, but majority of people would have been like, "That you was dumb for doing that."
I don't know, but
But your most anticipated upcoming movie.
Yeah. Oh man. I mean, there's so many
They
now.
got some bangers. I'm getting excited, man.
Yeah. I mean, to me, I know you still go, but it's not the same theater experience or whatever like that. To me, and until they're all open, that communal viewing is just something you cannot replace. However, I will say that I mean, Mortal Kombat does look. It looks pretty good. I can't lie. I mean, I thought it had a little bit of cheesy stuff in it, but it still looked decent. Look like it'll be actually a good gaming movie finally, because the gaming industry has a hard time putting out quality, decent movies that do well in the box office. But for me, it used to be Widow, but I feel like Widow has lost a lot of steam actually. So probably Kong vs. Godzilla right now, honestly. So. What about you?
I want y'all to see something real quick. You see what's on my face?
Godzilla.
That's Godzilla, baby. Listen, I'm a big Godzilla fan. I've probably almost seen every Godzilla movie. I can literally tell you the Godzilla movie that I didn't see. I still didn't see Shin Godzilla, which is I had a bunch of times to watch it, but I wanted to see if they had a dub version. If you guys know if they have a dub version, please let me know. But I've been searching for a dub version, but for right now it's only English dub. But I mean it's only in subtitle. But I'm a Godzilla fan. I think the first Godzilla movie was excellent. I think the second Godzilla movie, I think the first Godzilla movie is excellent. I think the King Kong movie was excellent. And I think the last Godzilla movie was excellent. So I think they did a good job of bringing it together. Maybe it would have been cool to get one more King Kong. So we had 2 for 2. But I'm so amped. I don't watch the trailer so many times. I can't wait. Yes, I will be going to the movies. But either way, this thing isn't about going to movies or not. You can watch it on HBO Max. But that's my most anticipated upcoming movie. Yes, Black Widow was it for me, but it lost too much steam for me. I'm still gonna see it, but yeah, I'm waiting for that Godzilla and Kong. And me and my friends, we've been trash talking who's gonna win. I'm a Godzilla fan, so I want him to spank King Kong. But and I watched the when it came out way back in the day when I was a kid. They had Godzilla versus King Kong, and technically people feel like King Kong won because they fell off a cliff at the end, and King Kong came out and was swimming and never showed Godzilla. So, but I'm like, dummies, Godzilla live in or under the sea, so that doesn't mean he lost. But people could say that. So I can't wait.
Yeah, there's two trailers actually, and they really do look good actually, and stuff like that. And like I said, I mean, Fast and Furious is just another one of those movies. So
Right.
I've seen it over and over again. This looks like it's going to be done really well. I haven't seen. I saw Skull Island, which is great. I saw the first newer Godzilla, but I haven't seen King of the Monsters. That's
Oh
the one I haven't seen.
wow. Okay.
So yeah. So
Yeah.
that's the one I do want. It's on my list to be seen. Definitely.
So many people dislike the first Godzilla movie because if you're a traditional Godzilla fan, if it followed a traditional Godzilla movie, you don't see Godzilla a lot. It's more about the humans, right? They got to always have a good story with the humans, and then Godzilla is like in it not as much. So I even my buddy Darren, he's the best man at my wedding. He was like, that Godzilla movie was trash. I'm like, well, you're younger, right? So he's like 30, 32 or 31, right?
Right.
So for him, for me, it followed the same Godzilla format. So the new Godzilla movie was for all the people like him that didn't like it, bro. It's like a creature monster mash. Like it's got creatures the whole movie pretty much. So I always say it's a complete movie. If you was to watch both of them together, you got your deep story and then you just got monsters. But real quick, my plan is to watch King Kong early that morning. Then I might watch back to back King Kong, then Godzilla. I'll take like a 2-hour break or later on watch the second Godzilla, and then I'm gonna go to the movies. I'm gonna watch all 4 movies in one day.
Okay. Well, let me ask you. Wait. You're gonna do all. That's pretty cool, actually.
Yeah,
And whatnot.
yeah.
So that's how I used to do Marvel movies. I would watch them before it became too many, but
Yeah,
I would
you're
watch
like,
it
all
on. Catch up with somebody because AMC used to do it. They used to have like like a marathon. They would let you watch like 8 Marvel movies, lead to the next one or whatever, 5 or 6. But when it became like 15, 20, now it's just too much.
Yeah.
But back to the Mortal Kombat trailer, I do want to talk to you about that. So we're talking about movies, stuff like that. Like, how do you feel about them retconning like stories, like the way Jack's arms broke or stuff like that in the movie or whatever like that, like from the games and things like that?
So the games went through a lot of stuff. They're on Mortal Kombat 11 right now. Mortal Kombat 9 was amazing. They took the story that you knew and they literally the game started from part 1. And that story from part 9, if you guys played it, you'll know what I'm talking about. It was amazing. And they added every single other game Mortal Kombat in it into the story and kind of like got to where we are now. So and they did that a little bit in the video game. They kind of changed certain stuff, how certain people got killed by certain people. It was really, really cool. So I know Mortal Kombat is, even though Mortal Kombat follows a strict story, but they have retcon in Mortal Kombat a lot of different things. And that's part of the story. So I'm curious to watch it and see how close it follows the newer, because I think what it is if you remember the old Mortal Kombat, this is
Right.
kind of more following the newer Mortal Kombat. I actually watched a video last night that it had all it broke down the trailer and had the trailer versus the video games. It was really cool. But I think it looks good to me because I played all the Mortal Kombat, so I know they changed some things and they switched here, they switched there. So the whole Jax getting his arm frozen and broken off of Sub-Zero is okay with me. But I want to see it. What I want to see is this. They're never going to follow. This is why video game movies don't do good. We expect them to follow everything to the T, but it's the same thing with books. They never follow a movie to the book, right? What I want to see is, did the actor become that character, right? And I want to see, did the story from beginning to end flow smooth, that it was believable and I was into it and it made me feel like I was watching an adaptation of the Mortal Kombat video games. If they could do that, if they do a good character developments and the actor becomes that character for me, and from beginning to end it plays out smooth, then they did a good job, whether they change certain things. So.
Yeah, it's hard to do, especially with a big movie like that with so many characters.
Yep.
It's hard to please everybody because everybody want their favorite character to do certain things in the movie or whatever like that.
Yeah.
So I think that's what becomes the issue. Like something like now Sonic, I love last year. That was done well, but it's not that many characters or whatever like that. So, Mortal Kombat, we'll see, but it looks like a good action movie to me so far.
Because even my wife, she's a big, she plays Mortal Kombat. She's a big Katana fan. And she caught this and I didn't. We watched the trailer. When the trailer ended, she said, you know what's crazy? She was like, they showed Melina, they didn't show Katana. I was like, oh, wow, you're right. So then I looked up the breakdown trailer. Because she said that, I looked up the breakdown trailer. And I was like, you're right. They don't show. She was like, how are they going to have Melina in it before Katana? I'm like, that is crazy because Melina's a clone of Katana. So anyway, but I'm getting a little too video game-ish now.
I was just wondering or whatever like that. Okay, I'm with you. All right, so my last one is.
Before we move on, you want to see what the people said in the last?
Go ahead. Go ahead. I'll pull up my topic. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Mr. Illmatic said I would stay behind and send off my family. He said I actually just watched Kong, and my wife said I can't wait to see Mortal Kombat. Collins Dynasty, what's up, Collins? He said MK is going to be that ish. Spectre said this new Godzilla is a lot better than the last one they made where he looked like a skinny lizard. Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, he's talking about the one way back in the day. Mr. Urban World, there you go. Late as usual. I'm at the grocery store. Can't hear when you got what you guys are saying. Yep, there you go. He said Mortal Kombat looked terrible. What? Okay. He said Spectre said retcons can be a good thing if used correctly. Colin said you can't follow MK game to the T. It's all over the place. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Right now it went up and down, but I think they got a good thing ever since part 9. Colin said, I don't think they showed every character in it. And my wife said, yeah, I'm upset Katana isn't in the Mortal Kombat trailer. Yeah, she might be in the movie though. Or I think the good thing with anything that has a lot of characters, because if you leave somebody out, then there could always be a part 2 if it does well.
The shame of it all is that it's coming out with the movie theaters not like they were, because I would have loved to see how many people would actually have gone to the theaters or whatever to see it, in a regular time and stuff like that.
Because not for nothing, when they first announced it, it almost felt low budget to me, as if like it was only coming out in HBO and not in the movies. So at first I kind of felt like, oh, this is kind of like more a TV movie and not a blockbuster movie. Because you're right. If it was only in the theaters, for me, I don't even look like I'm going to see it in the theaters. But to me, for some reason, don't have that blockbuster. Maybe because of some of the actors they got too.
Yeah, they're not well known. A lot of them stuff like that, or whatever like that. Yeah, I could definitely see that. Moving on forward, man. This is kind of just a soft toss or whatever, and just to end the show. But since we're transparent and I've got to know you over these years, and we get to know each other on the show. I've heard you talk about your mother, your grandmother, of course. Rest in peace to her and stuff like that, and your siblings. But I've never heard you talk about an uncle, an aunt, or cousins. So my question is, did you have any of those who were close to you growing up? Did you have any favorites, uncles, aunts, or cousins, stuff like that?
My family is very small. It was just me. Sorry. It was just my mom. My mom moved from Jamaica when she was younger. She literally married my dad when she lived in Jamaica, got pregnant with me in Jamaica, left Jamaica while she was pregnant with me. And so I was born she had me in New York as a baby, and then we moved to Trenton, New Jersey. So it was just me, my mom, me, my sister who's older than me. My mom had me, my sister, and my little brother, and then years later she had my little sister, and that was like it. And then my grandma, when I was like maybe 8, 9, or 10, she moved from Jamaica here and brought my 2 uncles. So I got 2 uncles. So we're that small. There's my mom, her two brothers, my grandma, and my grandfather, and I had 2 grandfathers because my mom's dad and then my grandma's husband. And I was like as small as my family was. No cousins, no nothing. So my uncles, my uncle Al, who watches the show, he watches the Sandy Anthony show, which is cool now. I sent him an invite also for this, but it was weird. My 2 uncles, Uncle Al was like the guy, and Uncle Al was like the guy being more Americanized, kind of sorta, and Uncle Richard was the more Jamaican guy. He was like the mean Jamaican, so people was afraid of him when he was, a teenager, and I was like a kid. I wasn't a teenager yet. they're not that much older than me, right? Like they're both still in their 40s or maybe just 50s. No, they're both in their 50s now. Sorry. So but they were like, I like Uncle Al for certain reasons. I like Uncle Richard for certain reasons. Uncle Richard would take me to go crayfishing. We would catch crayfish at Catwater Park in the creek, and he would cook them. It was like a crazy thing when you think about it for American kids doing that, but he was from Jamaica, so catching crayfish and cooking them. Uncle Al would be the guy going over the river catching snapping turtles.
Wait. Oh, boy. You were catching fish in Cowwater Parks Creek and cooking them?
Yeah, crayfish, kind of like the little.
I know what they are. Crawfish.
Yeah. Like I'm saying, for somebody from America, you'd be like, what? But yeah, that's what my Uncle Richard did.
I'm just surprised they were like, I didn't know they were. I didn't know Cowwater Park had crawfish in the creek.
Yeah,
that's why I'm surprised about that.
That was our thing. We used to catch them like crazy. Yeah.
Okay.
I know exactly where. Like, remember where they used to have animals?
Yeah.
And if you follow the fence down, going towards like I guess towards Trenton and not towards going towards West Trenton and not towards, I guess it still was West Trenton. Well, going towards down the hill and not up the hill. But if you followed the fence that way, where it ended, it was a creek that went all the way down, and we would be catching crayfish down in that creek, catching crayfish, salamanders, and we would have a bucket full of crayfish, and he would take them home and cook them.
Interesting. Okay,
that's crazy.
Gotcha.
Because in Jamaica, they walking around in the bush catching stuff, cooking it.
Hey Ray, because Ray lives in West Trenton, like right across from Cowwater Park. So Ray, since you watch it, were you also catching crawfish in Cowwater Park? I just want to know, did you know about this crawfish extravaganza? Because I had no idea. Or whatever.
Yeah. It wasn't many kids down there. It was just like us and our people. Like it was kind of we barely seen kids down there that much. Every now and then we'll see some kids down there, but we used to like run on my uncle would show me how to run on the rock. So we would run and like fast, jumping from rock to rock. Like it's crazy stuff. Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, I was wondering. I never heard you talk about any of those or whatever.
Very small family.
Yeah. So for me, I'm opposite or whatever. Mm-hmm. So I mean my mom's one of 5, my grandmother's one of 9 or whatever. So as the generations go, they just get bigger and bigger and stuff like that. Pretty much it's like, just in this Trenton area alone, probably like, I mean, now it's probably up to like 100 of us or more, but growing up was probably like a good 75 to 80 or whatever, maybe. So I had so many cousins who were within a year of 2 of me or whatever like that. So even like going to elementary school or going to middle school, we walked to school, about 14 of us together, like every day or whatever. Like we all met at one aunt's house, like a green aunt, and we all walked together. So pretty much it was at least like 1 or 2 of us in every grade or whatever like that. So we never had to worry about like a bully or somebody messing with us. There was too many of us at the school at the same time.
Oh wow, yeah. That wasn't going down.
No, not at all. I'll wait to the comments in a second. So I had the huge one, and that's just on my mom's side. My favorite uncle though came from my dad's side. My dad's side is not many of us, but his brother, my Uncle Ulysses, actually, he was born in Florida but moved up here. He was my guy actually, and I spent like summers or every weekend at his house a lot of times or whatever, hanging out with him, his wife, his son, his daughter. It was funny because him and his family, they were heavily into wrestling like I was as a kid and stuff like that. But the thing about it is, as you know, probably you probably experienced the same thing I did. As a kid, my mom wasn't buying no pay-per-views or whatever like that. Yep. So of course I saw the Monday night, whatever stuff or whatever, but the pay-per-views always had like get the news later on. Yep. But my uncle, they bought every one. So every time they came out, I had to go over there for that weekend, and he let me stay. He didn't care. It was just like the best thing in the world to know, like I had a place to go watch it at, because nobody else in my hood was paying that $50, for that pay-per-view or whatnot. Right. So he was cool, and it was great, when I was a kid. And my cousins, I mean, my favorite one that I had, his name was Alvin, nicknamed D. And another one, like I spent so many. He lives like around the corner from me, so I spent so many after school times, weekends, days, and stuff like that at his house. And he had a brother, like 2 others, Alvin and Calvin and stuff like that. And I remember like he had this porch, and it was like one of the porches that were a little higher, but on the side of it was grass. We would like get like our own makeshift Royal Rumbles over there, throw it over the top. piece of grass who could win. So that was cool. And I remember like just having so much fun with the video games and wrestling and playing downstairs, stuff like that. And growing up. But actually, sadly, he was actually he passed away when I was only like 2021
Okay.
or whatever like that. Yeah. So in a tragic death and whatnot. But he was my favorite one. I would say I never had another one who I was as close to after that. So that's my
That's
story.
cool, man. Yeah, I
Yeah,
had
yeah.
a my brother, because my brother and I have different dads. He had a Uncle Tony that used to take us to his house and stuff. And he was pretty cool. But as of my actual, I can't say he's not my actual family, but kind of not blood, but whatever. But yeah, I have good memories with him. Took me to my first and only baseball game, and it got to the point where he was so cool. He always had us come over, and he lived in Morrisville, so where the
Okay.
Dollar Theater was at and all that. So we,
Yeah,
we
yeah, yeah,
visited
yeah.
around there a lot when we was younger. And
Yeah, me too. Me too. I saw Free Willy at the Dollar Movie Theater. That's how like a long,
yeah,
time ago,
yeah.
like that. So
And he ended up passing away early too, which was crazy. He's no longer alive. But he was so cool that my brother's dad got jealous and was like, "You can't pick up my son anymore." Because he was doing more stuff than his dad was. And then my mom
really,
was like, "Well, Tony could still go." So I was still going to his Uncle Tony's house, but it was weird going to his uncle's. I mean, yeah, his uncle's house without my brother. You know what I'm saying? But yeah.
yeah. That's weird.
What's
All right. Well, before we get to the other stuff, I want you to read the top,
Yes,
the
sir.
comments, I guess.
Let's see. Colin said, I think the budget was 10 million. He said it's pretty low for a blockbuster. Um, Miss Urban said, would have stuffed Ant in the locker back in the day and made him scream uncle like Christmas Story. Mr. Elmatic said, what? Mr. Elmatic said, I don't know that I lived across the park from the park for years. Yeah, see, he didn't. And he said, I never knew that Nora would eat anything from there. I feel you. Trust me. Mr. Irwin said, my family is huge too. Be right back going to Domino's. So, yeah, I mean, also, guys, Mike, at some point, man, we gotta start having guests. So
Yeah,
to the people who are there,
I've
inbox
been
me
down for
or
that.
inbox Mike. Let us know because we'll be looking forward to having our first ever guest on the Big Mike Little Ant show.
Oh man, that'd be wonderful. Yes, whoever wants to get on the show, please let us know.
Yeah.
Next one will be in 2 weeks again at 11:30 ish.
Right.
And we're definitely excited to have you on here and have a good time with you. But let's move on, man.
All
You
right.
got your book of questions, so I'm gonna go with number 50. I've never gone with that before, so I'm gonna try it today.
All right. Well, you are on point and ready to rock and roll. So you said number 50. So we're gonna
Yes.
go with number 50. All right. So number 50 says, let me scroll to it. 50. All right, guys. This is where Mike picks, if you're new to this, a number from 1 to 217, and it's a bunch of hypothetical questions. Number 50 says, if you could choose the manner of your death, what would it be? Wow.
Oh man. I wouldn't want it to be painful at all. Also wouldn't want it to be dragged out. So um and I was always used to say like die in my sleep or whatever if I'm
Mhm.
older. But then that kind of sucks too, because you went to bed like feeling good and now you're like dead and stuff like that. But if I had to choose, um uh yeah, that's kind of tough, bro. But I probably would say that at the end. Yeah, just die in my sleep
Yeah.
or whatever. Because I think with that, you just never wake up. So the slumber doesn't really maybe
Hmm.
change for you anyway,
Hmm.
something like that. So yeah, die
Yeah.
in my sleep. How about you?
I agree. A friend of mine's, shout outs to Blue Bob, the gaming CPA. His grandfather just passed away like 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, and
Mm-hmm.
he did a video and he talked about it, and he said it was really cool because his grandfather passed away in his sleep. He lived a good life, and his family wasn't upset. They knew he was sick for a while, and
Yeah.
one night he was happy, had a good day, went to bed, and he didn't wake up. And
Mm-hmm.
so that story alone made me feel like that's pretty cool. And maybe I would want my family to go through that as well. I have a really good night. If I could set the scene, we laughed, we joked, and everybody knew I was pretty happy, but I was sick, because I'm older or whatever. And I go to sleep and I just don't wake up. And they were like, you know what? He enjoyed his life. He had a good time and he went to bed peaceful. And,
Yeah, I do want to dispel a myth though with that. Like when people are a lot older and they die, people say, "Well, they die from old age." Nobody dies from old age.
Mm-hmm.
They medically died because something malfunctioned
Right,
and stuff like that.
right. That's why,
So,
like Blue Bob said, his grandfather was sick. You know,
right,
he
right.
was,
No, I know what
yeah,
you're saying. I know what you're saying. But a lot of people will say that. A lot of he died from old age. That's not a thing. Or
right.
whatever. Like it's a
His ticker
medical
just said,
reason.
"All right, turn off.
Right. Right.
You
No.
sleeping? Go to sleep forever."
Right. Yeah. So I definitely want to dispel that particular myth. But I'm gonna keep it in the same row and go with 52. Make it simple
All
today.
right, cool. So 52 says, "For what in your life do you feel most grateful?"
Um, what in my life do I feel most grateful for? I would say my kids right now,
Hmm.
stuff like that. Like I'm grateful to have them. I'm proud of who they're becoming. Um, I love, that what I can see from them and growing up and stuff like that. So I would say, my kids on a tangible thing, right?
Hmm.
Untangibly, I would say I'm grateful to still, just be alive and still have good health and stuff like that.
Hmm.
But things I can feel, I would definitely say my kids.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna say my wife. My wife helps me be a good father. My wife. So, my older kids are older. I don't. I might be different. I know some women I talk to. They're like, "Oh, your kids gonna be kids forever." No, I have a 21, 22, and 23-year-old. They're adults now. I mean, they've definitely flew the coop and they're doing their thing. Even the ones who still live with me. So, I don't look at them in the same light. But my 14-year-old daughter, I look at her as like, okay, got to help her get it together. But I'm most grateful for my wife, because of now and the future. When my daughter, who's 14, is an adult and she's no longer under my care, I look forward to still having my wife in my life. And some people feel like, oh, I have my best days behind me. Maybe when I was younger, I had money, blah blah blah. My best days hasn't come yet because I just imagine when my wife and I are living in Florida alone and just really really enjoying life in the setting. And then I'm grateful, as like you said, for my health. I'm really grateful for being healthy and being able to wake up and feel good and feel like I could get through the day. And because I know some people can't, some people are on medication for pain or for whatever. So I'm happy for that, just like you said.
Yeah, or not even like eyesight might be gone.
Yeah,
Can't walk or whatever like that.
yeah,
Like there's all these little things that we're able to function with. That even just one thing missing can have a whole different life
yeah.
for us. Stuff
Yep,
like that. You know what
yep.
I'm saying? So I'm definitely grateful for that. I could definitely see your answer, especially being together 9 years and looking towards kind of like moving away when your
Right.
last kid gets older, because
Yep.
that's at that point it's you and the wife and stuff like that,
Yeah,
whatever. So
it's.
I definitely see where you're coming from. I think for me, my kids are so young, I'm still watching them grow.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
it's more of I'm just grateful to be able to have that experience right
Yeah.
now and stuff. So those are my two. Hold on. I want to go back to Mr. Elmatic's comment, or if you want to go to the comments real quick or
Hmm.
whatever. But um uh he said, Mr. Urbanwell said, my family is huge. We've read that before.
Hmm.
He said, but what if dying in your sleep was like a bad dream you can't wake up from? What do you think about that?
I mean, then who would choose that, right? So then I wouldn't want to choose that because I don't want to be in a bad dream I can't wake up from. So then I just wouldn't want to die in my sleep. But that would be crazy. I mean, we could definitely go down a rabbit hole and talk next week about like what if certain things we could talk about death and what death could really be. Maybe we could
Okay,
make
all right.
that.
All right,
Yeah,
we'll get to that next
yeah.
time. I'll keep reading these ways.
Hmm.
Sandy said, I'm grateful for the amazing relationship I have with my husband. Oh, how sweet. And my kids, an interesting thought at Mr. Illmatic
Yeah, we
mentioned.
we definitely got to dive into that. Yeah, next
Yeah,
week.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
or next 2 weeks we'll dive into that. Yeah.
All right, cool.
And
All
Mr.
right,
Mac,
so
if you want to be on the show so you could explain that, just saying, we're putting it out there.
yo, Ray, come on the show, man. We want to get you on there and stuff
Yeah.
like that. So let's do it. All right, versus questions. I'm up to. I actually take. When we're away, I take time and I try to get
Hmm.
things more organized. I got 19 questions right now,
Okay.
bro. So
So
a
I,
lot
kn-
more
I
than I normally have.
I know which ones I'm picking.
All right, cool.
I'm start with number one.
Okay. Who's funnier, older people or little people, like children, stuff like that?
Children are funnier. Bro, just tell a kid who talks funny to say, "I'm gonna truck you up." We used to do that. Hilarious. My boy son with little, and it was bad. But we used to be like, when he said truck, he said, we'd be
Right,
like, "Say,
right,
I'm gonna
right.
truck you up." And it was
Right.
hilarious. I think little kids are just funny. Especially when kids, even when they get a little bit older and they think they're funny, and it's just funny to see like a little kid who is trying to like talk all educated, but he's like 5 years old. It's just hilarious. Kids are just funny. It's just really, really funny.
I
Now,
think it I think it depends on your level of silliness or whatever like
true,
that. Because kids can be funny because they're just silly funny and stuff like that or
right?
whatever. But go ahead, what were you about to say?
No, I was gonna say now my grandma was hilarious. When we went to see my grandma when she was alive, she had us dying. Like I remember one time I put on her wig and then she would say the craziest stuff. We'd be like, "Yo, grandma, like where's your filter?" She was hilarious. But I think the kids are just more funny to me because that older person has to just be funny, right? But some kids could just have you crying. Like Sandy watched TikTok a lot, and we'll watch TikTok. Last night we're laying in bed, she's watching TikTok, and there's this little kid, this little girl, and she was so serious trying to talk to her parent, putting her hands on her hips, and it was hilarious because she's like maybe 4 years old, and she could articulate what she was saying, but she got that funny little chipmunk sounding voice, and it was just the funniest thing ever. So
Yeah, I would probably go with older people, man. I like those unfiltered old people. They be having me dying,
yeah,
bro. And I just feel like that kids do have their moments, but for me, I kind of get annoyed after a while. But older people,
right.
they crack me the hell up. So I'm gonna go with that. What's your number second one?
Number one, second one is 19.
Nice. That was pretty cool. Hmm, hmm. Okay. Wait. I'm sorry. I had the button real quick. Let's see. Being alone by yourself for 6 months versus living with the annoying roommate for a year. What would you take? So
Being
I mean,
alone.
this person that eats your food, that you
No.
know.
Stop. We gonna have I'll be alone.
Okay. All
You know what the
right.
thing is? I like yeah. Let's say I couldn't be around my wife for whatever reason. I had to go somewhere, Australia, for 6 months alone. Um, but to be around an annoying person that's eating my stuff, like um, I guess I could drop certain stuff, but yeah, it ain't. But like I'm very vocal. We're just gonna be like two disgruntled individuals, you know. It's not gonna be cool. And I could keep myself busy by just playing video games, you know. So
True.
I'm a
True.
people's person, but over the years, video games, I have so many friends, like so many people in this chat. Collins, Spectre. There's some really cool people that I don't even know what they look like. Well, I know what Collins look like, don't know what Spectre look like, but and we're cool. We're peoples, you know. I could be comfortable playing with people online, doing shows, talking to people. I'll get by. But if I had to be in the vicinity of somebody who's really annoying and doing stuff, like that's gonna be torture, and we're gonna be fighting, and it's gonna be crazy.
Damn, I had a video game question for you. I forgot to add this. I'll add it to next week or 2 weeks from now, so or whatever too. But okay, I agree with you. I don't. I mean, the annoying roommate. I mean, I guess it's kind of cool to be able to have someone to talk to and give information and stuff like that. Like when things happen. However, if I just say like I'm alone and there's no chance of nobody else being with me, I would accept that or whatever like that. I'm
Right.
okay. I'm not a video game person, but there's so many movies and
Yeah.
TV shows and things like that I could watch to pass the time and stuff like that I'd rather do that and enjoy my comfortability without having that annoying person or whatever, for a year. So that's that. So that's our show,
That's the
folks.
show, folks. Let me
And
look
what?
at the last bit of the comments. So we make sure we get everybody.
Mm-hmm,
Mr. Elmatic said, "Will think," and he said, "Older people are funnier. They have stories of their life,
mm-hmm,
entire life."
mm-hmm.
My kid said, "Children are definitely funnier. Their humor is, excuse me, coming from an innocent place." And my kid said, "Being alone, definitely." So, guys, that is definitely the show for Big Mike and I. I apologize, but my wife and I actually have to go to get our taxes done, and it's an hour away, so I'm
Mm-hmm.
running on borrowed time. But this was really cool. Thanks everybody who chipped in. Remember, we're always looking for you guys to give your story, your feedbacks to all our questions, and we are looking for guests. So like, comment, and subscribe. Anything else you want to say, Mike?
Nah, same thing. Like, comment, subscribe. We'll be back in 2 weeks. And if you want to be a guest, feel free to do so. Thank you all once again for watching. And for that, I'm Big Mike.
And I'm Little Ant.
Out.
Out.